Fridays at 9. I heard through the grapevine. It's Cork Dorks time. We'll bring the flavor, you bring the wine. I heard through the grapevine. It's Cork Dorks time. Wednesdays at 5 and Fridays at 9.
Well, it's the final day of the California Mid-State Fair. We're broadcasting live here from Mission Square. It's sunny, a little breeze. That Templeton Gap's moving through. High 82 today. And we got our friends from Castoro. I almost called you Jimmy for some reason. Jeremy, how are you?
I'm Jimmy when I'm
at the fair. At the fair,
when I go to Idaho, they call me Jimbo. Hey, what's going on? How you doing?
What's up, guys?
Good to see you.
Good to be here.
You know, we did it. We did 12 days in a row. It's so cool that you're here on the final day. We're going to run through these award-winning wines at the Central Coast Wine Competition. I know we'll talk about Well Rock, even though it's sold out, but it's still fun to talk about because it's an amazing festival and all the other things that you can do at Castoro besides enjoy these great wines.
Yeah, well, one thing that's really cool about Castoro is we got a chance to interview Niels Utzon, who has been, the founder, proprietor. I know we had Gary Eberly on yesterday. We're talking about another pioneer in Paso wine, since the early 80s. And one thing we learned about Niels is his desire to not only do as little damage to the grounds and to be a good steward of the grapes as possible, but to even give back and try and do that. So we'll talk about just how they went from, a pioneer on some land years and years, decades and decades ago, to now having over 1,000 organically farmed grapes, acres of organically farmed grapes that they are just killing it with. And
yeah.
They've got some great scores on these wines, too.
Now, we got the Sauv Blanc in the glass right now, and we'll talk about that here a little bit more in depth in a minute. But, Luke, tell us a bit about organic farming and why that is so important to your family.
Well, I think initially when we started the winery, my parents didn't have any vineyards at all. So it started with, a facility, buying grapes, buying bulk wine, whatever they needed to do to make it happen. And then over time, at home, they were always passionate gardeners, like really into gardening, organic gardening in particular, before it was really a thing. But they were never using any crazy pesticides in their garden or anything. It was all clean, organic farming. And then as they started to grow and acquire their own vineyards, that mentality kind of just carried through into, our farming. And we were working with different local growers and stuff and asking questions like, well, if we can get away with not doing this, why would we do this? And what can we do to avoid using these things? And also, having a vineyard at our house where I grew up, they didn't want to have anything that was toxic or harmful around their children. And so that mentality just kind of that vibe is part of their ethos. And so it was a natural fit to start. We were one of the pilot vineyards for the SIP program. And then the transition to organic was just a really kind of a natural, natural fit for them.
But it's funny because it grew, it's like the vineyards around the house. All right, cool. Well, you know what? We got the tasting room right here. And there's dogs and kids around. Let's do the vineyards around the tasting room. Yeah. Then we got this. Then we got Whale Rock. I mean, then it's like, okay, let's make an effort, and they did, to make all of our estate grown grapes be organically farmed.
Yeah, well, it got to a point where it was like all of our West Side vineyards were certified organic, and we're looking at it. We're looking at the ones that, a lot of the vineyards that weren't organic were ones that we acquired. So they were vineyards we purchased from somebody else who had farmed them a certain way. And you can't just cold turkey quit, whatever farming techniques were used. And so you have to kind of wean the vineyard off of.
You got to nicker at the vineyard for a little while.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so the process maybe wasn't being as, forcefully done as it was on the West Side, where we planted the fruit ourselves. So it was always, organic. And then it got to a point where we were just like, you know what? If we want to make a real difference and an impact in the Paso, wine appellation and just California in general, as far as being proponents for organic agriculture, we decided to just go for all of it. And it was a big decision, but it was the right decision. And we've also found that our organic farming is actually saving us money in farming and making us more money in terms of fruit.
That's cool, because in the beginning it's expensive. In the beginning it's got to be expensive.
Well, I mean, there's equipment involved, there's techniques, there's things you have to do to go organic. But in the long run, you end up saving money, and you end up, of course, saving the earth, right?
Yeah, so we're seeing that we're saving money in the actual farming of those vineyards because the vineyards are healthier. And then we're also seeing that we're getting consistently higher scores in our wines. It's resulted in even better wine than we already had. And then on top of that, if we're selling fruit or grapes to other people, the being certified organic is making those grapes even more valuable. So it's really a win-win, all around.
You know, it's a big move that I made at my house. Everything that we buy now is from the organic section, and it's really because of talking to guys like
Jeremy.
you. No.
You're a hero.
I mean, we're buying our produce organic, but it's because of talking
He's
to
like,
guys.
I got organic oat milk.
Talking
I'm
to Luke,
good.
talking to Niels. Talking to other people that farm it, and why wouldn't you? It's a little bit more money, but at the end of the day, you have a little bit more peace of mind. And speaking of these organic strawberries, I just made the shot.
And think about it too.
Yeah, I did.
That was the second one this fair.
Yeah, I know.
You can
I
say
remember
it's
the first one.
That's
more
50 feet
it's
away.
more money, but if you think about what organic produce or food or meat or whatever cost 10 years ago versus what it costs now, the prices are going down because the demand's going up. More people are buying it. More people are making it. So the more that we all
Supply's
support,
going up too. More people are doing it.
more people are doing it.
Great.
Yeah. So the more that we all support it, the more it's going to become affordable for, the consumer. So
Yeah, that market levels.
Is there anything with organic, though, that we can go a little too far with that you've seen, like, it seems a little far. It's really like people are using it for, like, marketing purposes. Like corn tortilla chips, have you noticed the bags? They all say gluten-free on them now because it's a movement.
Well, I mean,
But some things would be gluten-free anyways, wouldn't they?
It is gluten-free.
Yeah,
There's no
right.
gluten in it. There's
I
no
mean,
wheat
I've
in it.
seen things say gluten-free water before.
Yeah.
That's a little ridiculous. But I think for food products, for any ag product, certifying it organic is a legit thing to
This
do.
may be a stupid question. What about things like, and I forgive this, but I'm just thinking it, so I got to ask it. Things like watermelon. Now, you never eat the outside of the watermelon, so if a pesticide. But I mean, would that be bad to eat a regular watermelon? But it's I guess it's the bigger picture, probably,
Yeah,
right?
and also there's pesticides that are water soluble, so they get into the water.
permeate
They
the-
permeate into
Got it.
so the plant absorbs it in through its its roots, and so it's actually inside.
Yeah.
You can't wash it off.
Right.
It's going right through the vine, right into the
actually
fruit
can
as it
suck
grows.
into the fruit, and
Right.
so it'll be in the flesh of
Yeah.
the watermelon or whatever.
No, don't want
And,
that.
That's the
Right.
there's
My
this-
wife
yeah.
says the same thing, though. She's like, well, we don't eat the rind. We don't eat the rind of the,
Sure.
orange. And I'm like, no, but think
there's-
about it.
There's a website called the Environmental Working Group, and they actually have what they call the Dirty Dozen and the Clean 15. And the Dirty Dozen are the 12 fruits and vegetables that have the most pesticides of anything you can buy at the store.
Wow.
And then there's the 15 that are if they're not organic, the least likely to have
Good to
pesticide
know.
residue. So
I'll
it's
check
like
that
these,
out.
it's like these 15 things you can get away with not buying organic, and you'll be all right.
Okay.
These 12 things, never buy not organic because they're
I'm going
gnarly.
to check the website out.
What is it again?
EWG, Environmental Working Group,
Okay, Environmental Working Group.
or just Google search Clean 15.
Clean 15 will work, too. We got Sauv Blanc in the glass. When you think about organic wines, you think, are the wines going to taste a little bit different because this is from an organic vineyard? I mean, I can't tell the difference. I'll just tell you this. These wines always taste fantastic. Talk a little bit about this Sauv Blanc a little bit.
Well, Sauv Blanc is one of the white wines that we've made for ages, really from kind of the beginning when we started doing white wines. A lot of people, initially in the old days, it was like white Zin and then Zin Cab. People weren't making a lot of white wine, and it was kind of thought that Paso wasn't an area for white wine. But we've actually found that white wines can do really well here in different areas. And certain our Sauv Blanc is actually grown on the east side, out in the San Miguel area, and it's really good. It's got great acid. It's really refreshing. It's one of our best-selling summer wines in the tasting room for sure. So there's a lot of potential for white wines. I mean, we have such a variety of growing climates here.
What's fun about Sauv Blanc and even like Chardonnay is that there's a lot of ways to kind of present them. Obviously, the vineyard does its thing, and of course, what Tom Myers and your folks, your team in the cellar, are doing their thing. But they're both very kind of versatile grapes to kind of represent and express.
Yeah, totally. And like I was mentioning before, with the organic and the quality of the wine, this Sauvignon Blanc recently just got 90 points in the Wine Enthusiast.
Yeah.
It's one of multiple wines that we got 90 plus points on this year. And we've been seeing that consistently year after year.
It's awesome.
It's really nice. All right, we got Luke here, and we're talking about Castoro. They're on the 46 West, right off Bethel Road. Get on up there. They're open daily. You can taste them. You can do appointments and all that fun stuff. We'll have more with him coming up here